legendary on the field, kind of drip is a skill, it's the highest cruiser bill, ain't nothing just to heal. With a slip on, spin move, in zone, scope the sideline.
Tonight, from Empower Field at Mile High in Denver, it's week 2 of the NFL preseason on EA Sports. Dak Prescott and the Denver Broncos versus Cam Newton and the Cleveland Browns.
A terrific night for football as EA Sports takes us to Empower Field at Mile High in the capital city of Denver, Colorado. The scene a few moments ago, here it is. It's unlike any other in sport as both teams made their way out of the tunnel. These folks are fired up as their guys are ready to do battle between the Cleveland Browns and the Denver Broncos. Brandon Gaud and Charles Davis, happy to be back alongside you. And I'll tell you what, yes, it's just week 2 of the preseason, but now they've got one game under their belts. And a lot of guys trying to prove some stuff down on the field here today.
Not only that, these coaches like to win. And I used to think it really didn't matter who won in the preseason. Then I watched some of those shows that the NFL does. And you see the coaches in preseason after a loss jumping all over their guys. So I learned one valuable lesson. Wins and losses count no matter what time of year it is.
And he opts to not bring this one out. The first drive will start at the 25. So here are the Broncos now for their opening drive. As we get a peek at their dynamic signal caller hailing from Mississippi State, it's Dak Prescott.
One thing he does very well, he takes care of the football. Had 176 pass attempts to start his career without an interception. That's the most in NFL history. And finished his rookie year, 23 touchdown passes and only 4 interceptions.
On 1st and 10, Prescott. And he's got the hook up here. It's Kyle Rudolph. And the result here, a pickup of 8. Leaves him with 2 to go on 2nd down.
Brandon, perfect defense in this situation would have meant that there was an incompletion and would have picked it off. Okay, so they gave up the completion. But I really enjoyed watching how the defense stayed in sync, stayed in great communication. And as he dragged across each zone, you see him pointing, communicating. There he is, and they passed him off to each defender. Ended up making a nice play, even though it was complete.
And nothing doing. He's immediately taken down at the line of scrimmage. He got maybe a half yard at most, but officially they'll be left with a 3rd and 2. You don't see that a ton, do you? Or the cornerback coming over to the middle of the field to make a run tackle.
That's someone with a ton of confidence to feel like nothing is pressuring him on his side of the field. Sees that the ball's moved to the middle and just sprints over there to help out. He ends up getting the tackle. Well played.
Trying to run for it with Jacobs. And he will have a first down as they get him to the ground at the 37. Give him 3 yards and a fresh set of downs. Defense had a chance to get off the field here on the opening drive, couldn't do it.
I know that we go into these meetings with coaches, and sometimes maybe we can get, a little bit numb because they're always going to talk about how important 3rd down is, aren't they? Offense and defense. In this case, one capitalized, and the other, as you said, had a chance to get off the field and didn't get it done. Nice play right there to stop him behind the line, but I want to see how this defense continues to play him here in the first half.
Yeah, we know, you know better than I, he has the ability to take over a game, so what do you do?
Yeah, I think you have to make sure that you bottle him in at varying levels.
And he will not make it back to the line of scrimmage as he's going to be taken down.
No doubt that's a very good play defensively right there because you've always got to be aware that he can take off and make a big play with his legs. How about the way they were able to contain him? That also tells me the coverage was excellent downfield.
And he'll be taken down, but not before he works it past the 50. Denver has the first down, the play going for 15 yards. So a 1st and 10 upcoming from Browns territory now at the 49-yard line. They will run out of the gun with Jacobs. And he'll they'll get this down only to about the 46. 3 yards on the pickup there, and it'll be second down.
46-yard line. A 3-yard pickup brings up 2nd and 7.
First carry now for Jordan Howard. A minimal gain there on the 8th play of the drive. He's a second-round pick, a solid second-round pick. But when you're close to that first round, do you come in with a little chip on your shoulder?
You definitely do, because now your money's not the same. But even more than that, it's the prestige. Everyone wants to be a first-round pick, and he thought his talent demanded that. And I do know some teams in the league that had first-round grades on him.
They added a lot of talent to a roster that really needed an infusion of youth. They got a very good infusion of youth.
And they didn't really reach to get anyone as well. They stuck to their draft philosophy, got the best players they could at the time they were drafting, and inserted them into their lineup.
Nice job keeping that opening drive alive, and they're in plus territory, that part of the field where you really want to convert on third down. They did. Big-time pickup for them, and now I think the aggressive play callers think to themselves, this part of the field, I take my shot at the end zone, because the closer you get to the end zone, the field gets condensed. Makes it a lot tougher to run those routes. You still got a chance to actually run past people right now. Take your shot at the end zone early in the down and distance count. And this time not as successful, as he'll get back to the line of scrimmage and no more. Call it no gain that time, as it's going to leave him with a third and about 3 to go.
Down and 4.
How about this opening drive? Play number 12 now. This is third down. Under a heavy rush, and down he goes. Miles Jack working free that time to take him down.
A loss of
Charles, a little bit of feast or famine on this drive. They moved the ball okay, but they've been sacked twice now.
And they've got to figure out how to plug that leak a little bit, right? Keep them away from the quarterback, because when he's not being hit, as you mentioned, they're moving the ball well.
Now for the field goal try, here's Eddie Pinheiro. It'll be spotted on the right hash, a 52-yard attempt. And this kick is not going to be close. It's well short, well right to boot, and this will remain a scoreless game.
NFL kickers nowadays, they make things look so easy, because normally from this range, about 2 out of 3, and this is not an easy kick.
Yeah, 20 years ago, you get where he was in that 50 range, maybe a little over, and it's a big kick, but now we just, if they leave it short, you're like, whoa, what happened? And that's what we have here.
Yeah, you're right. 20 years ago, we were saying run some more plays and get closer. Now we think they're definitely within range, and you're exactly right. When it comes up short, there has to be something that went wrong, because they have plenty of leg.
Now a throw here to his running back. They'll contain him to just 4. Second down. 4 yards on that last completion, so that sets up 2nd and 6.
2nd and 6 at the 45-yard line.
From the gun, here's Newton. He'll rifle this one deep right side. And that's going to wind up incomplete. However, we do have a flag down. Let's check in with our referee. They were looking to throw, holding on the big right tackle.
That's real simple, partner. Keep your hands inside in the chest area. You're probably okay. You get it out on the shoulders, get them wide. Usually going to pick up a holding call.
They'll come up now on a 2nd and long after the hold. Newton. He's got his man on the crossing route. And he's going to be out of bounds, but not before he takes it inside the 40. A gain of 28 yards there, and give him a first down.
But one of the ways that quarterbacks keep all the receivers alive in a play, never lock in on any one guy. Make sure you keep your eyes moving, scan the field. And here he finds the open guy for a nice pickup.
On first down, it's Newton. And it's intercepted. Desmond King picks it. And he will bring this across midfield to the 49-yard line.
Newton's pass.
Well, this had trouble written all over from the start. He's got 2 extra defensive backs in the game he's got to deal with. They're in a dime set. So everywhere he's looking, he's seeing a different color jersey. And sure enough, this one winds up being intercepted.
Following throwing the interception. Here's Prescott. And that is incomplete. He couldn't hold on through the contact. Brings up second down. So now 2nd and 10 after the incompletion on first down. Here's Jacobs from the gun. Accelerating, and off he goes. And all the way home for a Broncos score. Josh Jacobs, 49 yards. And the Broncos have taken the early lead.
Earlier in the week when they had their scouting report meeting, this was the explosiveness that they talked about trying to contain. They were concerned about it all week, yet he still did it to them. Wonder how that's going to carry over the rest of the game.
Extra point right down the middle, and that makes the score 7-0. Tyreek Hill on the return. And he'll go down as this drive will start at the 25-yard line.
At their own 25-yard line.
Second drive coming up here for Cleveland as they return to the field on offense. And there are parts of their last drive they'd like to emulate. And, of course, they'd like to forget the inning, the interception. But they did put together, Charles, a nice sustained drive to get him down the field.
Yeah, and unfortunately for them, the only thing that matters is part 2, right? Because once they threw the interception and finished off the drive,
it got his man complete.
Uh-oh.
And he'll take it into the end zone for a Browns touchdown.
Number 2.
A big play there. 75 yards. And the Browns are within an extra point of tying this thing up. I don't think you can get any more efficient or tidy, whatever word you want to use in that. Man, one play, 75 yards, end zone.
Yeah, efficient, tidy, excellent words. How about explosive? 75 yards, one play. That means everyone handled their assignment, doesn't it? It doesn't just mean that the defense broke down. They really executed the way that was drawn up on the whiteboard. Big-time play, big-time result.
Set to kick off.
So all even at 7 now as they kick it away. Now this will make it into the end zone. And it'll come out to the 25 as he will not attempt to return.
25-yard line.
And Denver getting set to take the field. And they're hoping to redo their efforts in the last drive when they got into the end zone.
And just think of what it's like now on the sideline. Because when you score a touchdown, you have to go over and look at the tablet and see what you did on the last drive. When you scored points, it's a whole lot better view than when you're trying to figure out how to fix things there.
Give him 5 on the carry there, and it'll be second down. Ball on the 30. They'll come up with a 2nd and 5.
Brings up 2nd and 5.
Now Prescott. Looking for Allen. He's got him on the slant. And they'll get it up just short of the 45 at the 44. That one good for 14 yards. And the Broncos are going to have a new set of downs. These two teams all tied after 1.
7-7.
Here's Jacobs on 1st and 10. And a good pickup there. He gets about 6 up to midfield.
Jacobs, the ball carrier.
That was a really nice job by them picking up the run blitz and detecting it and blocking it and turning it into a nice run. And a lot of times you think if you blitz a running play, you're going to smother it. But a lot of the blitzers, they come in a little bit high. They don't have great leverage, and they're easily blocked and turned to the side.
And as a defensive end, getting off the ball quickly, swarming to the football, making a tackle, that's what we saw right there.
Yeah, that's what their job is. And really, a lot of the time, they have to throttle back a little bit in the run game because you know those defensive ends, they're like in a sprinter stance. They're just headed straight for the quarterback. That was good recognition on that play to hold them to no gain.
As we thought they might do here in week 2 of the preseason, they've left their starting quarterback out there for this second quarter, but I would imagine we will not see him after halftime.
Yeah, this is the time of year you've got to get your backup some reps and make sure you protect your starting quarterback.
Browns take over 1st and 10 at their own 23-yard line.
And now Cleveland geared up to take the field. And following that long touchdown pass, a one-play drive last time, we'll see if the defense, you know they're ready. They don't want that to happen again.
And you would have thought they would have been ready the last time. I mean, that's what you work on all the time. Make sure that no one gets behind you. That's the cardinal sin of defense, not giving.
And that's caught inside the 30. And he will finally go out of bounds, but not before he takes it down to the 25.
2 yards.
Every defensive staff harps on limiting explosive plays. Job not so well done there.
Yeah, they talk about it all the time. A lot harder to stop, though, isn't it? And when you think of an explosive play, most offensive staffs define them as passes of 20.
And that's going to be caught for a Browns touchdown. Tyreek Hill there to make the grab. And the Browns have taken the lead.
They went 5 wide in that offensive set. And racing, going 3 wide's a big deal. To go 5, how about the way that they finish things off?
Did you just fit a race car reference into the game?
Zoom, zoom. How about the way that you play? When you go 5 wide, that means you're going fast now.
Zoom, zoom indeed. And he's got it. It's now a 14-7 ball game. The long touchdown pass gets him 6 on a very, very tidy 2-play drive that time.
Justin Tucker set to kick off.
Tucker now to kick it away following the touchdown. And he'll get it up just past the 20 as his guys will go to work at the 21-yard line.
Their own 21-yard line.
Here's the Denver offense now as they get set to take over here. That 7-0 lead of theirs short-lived as they've now given up 2 straight touchdowns to fall behind by 7.
Yeah, but no cause for discouragement here. Yeah, they've fallen behind, but haven't they proven that they can go down and score? So what was the formula that got them down there the first time? Get back to something close to that, and maybe they can get this game tied up.
The 26. A gain of 5 brings up 2nd and 5.
Second and 5 now. Prescott. And boy, that one drops incomplete, but if he was hit a fraction sooner, it may have been a fumble.
So now here in the 2nd week of the preseason, you'd expect the starters play a little bit more than they did in week 1, but not a whole lot.
So if you're an offensive coordinator, what are you looking for?
What you're looking for is things getting cleaned up.
And he's taken down. This will be a Brown sack. Miles Jack, his 2nd sack of the night.
I'm starting to feel for that quarterback back there. I mean, you know me. Normally, don't have a lot of empathy for the QB, right? In this case, definitely. He's been on constant duress this entire game. I don't know how he's surviving back there.
And to think, there's still a long way to go in this football game. It's a return of 4 following a 42-yard punt. And the Browns will take over 1st and 10. Cam Newton getting ready to go again on offense. And he's looked pretty good. Does have the 1 interception, but 2 touchdown passes so far. Your analysis?
They'll take the offset. When you talk about throwing 2 touchdown passes, no one wants to see an interception thrown, but those things happen in the course of a ball game and over the course of a season. But throwing 2 touchdown passes, that's why the team has an advantage. That's what they're looking for more of.
He'll be hoping to make it a 3-to-1 ratio here in the 2nd quarter.
At the 36-yard line.
Now on 2nd and 13, Newton. And seeing nowhere to throw, he chucks this one away from harm. Incomplete. Now it's 3rd down. You know, during these preseason games, we're in week 2 right now. It's always funny looking at our spot charts up here in the booth because with all the guys that might play in this one, it seems to get bigger and bigger each year.
Yeah, we pretty much supersize them, don't we? Because, you know, remember, they're carrying 90 now. And with the new rules, they'll carry 90 all the way through the preseason before they make the final cut. Oh, yeah, a lot of guys to learn for these games.
And that one goes incomplete on the drop. That's one he definitely normally catches. 4th down.
That could be the stop this defense needed to get them back on track. They've been pretty well dissected by the offense here in the first half. After that possession, now they know that they can compete with this offense.
A 40-yard punt, 5 yards on the return. And the Broncos take over. 1st down and 10. Let's see what our player spotlight feature has in store. Denver offense at the line, ready to go. And on the last go-around, they really couldn't get anything going.
They had to punt from deep inside their own territory, which means you're going to...
Can't get away, and he's taken down. Demario Davis coming in for the sack that time.
Well, that play was the very definition of fast, quick, and in a hurry. Suddenly, he was there.
Yeah, blink of an eye, that happened fast and a big sack. After the sack on first down, Prescott. And he'll find his man on the out route. That's Allen.
Complete to Keenan Allen.
An ex-teammate used to tell me all the time, I hate experienced quarterbacks because no matter what, you really can't hide what you're doing. And I think that right there, he knew right away where the blitz was coming from, where his primary guy was going to be, and he ended up going to the second.
And he can't escape, and down he goes. Demario Davis able to drop him that time for his second sack of the evening.
We've watched this a long time, and I still don't believe we get it. 3rd and long, why are you calling play action?
Because they're not going to bite defensively, right?
No, not at all. I did have a coach explain to me years ago that for some teams, that's how they have to deal with pass protection and their line blocking, but to me it seems silly.
Yeah, well, they're silly, and it leads to a play action sack.
Defense.
Officials so cognizant of that call nowadays, but that would look pretty easy.
Yeah, you're right. They took out of their hands having to wonder whether it's a 5-yard or a 15-yard inadvertent or not. Now, it's a lot easier. You see it, you call it.
A lack of discipline defensively on 4th down, and now that leads to a 1st and 10. And this is going to be intercepted. Desmond King picks it. And he will bring it out past the 20-yard line. Second quarter action, 1:56 remaining. Coming up at the half, a reminder, we go back to Orlando to check in with Jonathan Coachman. He'll have a look back at our first half, as well as a look ahead to what's coming up later this weekend. And the Browns pressure gets to him that time, and he's going to go down. Demario Davis bringing the pressure yet again. That's his 3rd sack here tonight.
I'm starting to wonder if this offensive line just simply doesn't like him. I mean, they've given up 6 sacks in this game. He's had nowhere to go, nowhere to run, and obviously nowhere to hide.
And all those sacks in the first half, this is just complete domination. And they'll take him down at the 31-yard line. They get 14 back, but it leads now to a 3rd down. And he's got a man open. That's Allen. And he's got the first before he's brought down at the 39-yard line. Now a timeout called for by the offense, as the clock will stop with 55 seconds to go until halftime. So from the 39 now, they'll come up on a 1st and 10. Prescott from the gun. And a flag comes in as that one falls incomplete. Well, let's see who this is on.
Defense.
What's up, man?
So flag for the contact, pass interference.
And I know that you're going to look at me and roll your eyes, and rightfully so, because you know what I'm going to say. Doesn't the defender have a right to the football as well?
No, I don't like defenders.
That's because you spent too much time with me. Okay, I'll side with you on this one. It's the correct call.
Now the Broncos going to use the second of their timeouts, as the clock's going to stop with 47 seconds to go in half number 1. And the ball on the 30, here's 2nd and 4.
58 to Mike, 58 to Mike. Rip right.
And again, it's Prescott. This will be caught inside the 10. And he'll take it into the end zone for a Denver score. Kyle Rudolph, 30 yards. And the Broncos are an extra point away from tying the football game.
40 extra points.
After nearly 30 minutes of football, that touchdown puts us in a position where if they make the extra point, we're right back to even before we start the second half.
Extra point splits the uprights, and that is going to tie our game as we approach halftime. This one tied at 14 now as he sends this one away. Fielded a couple yards into the end zone. And he'll be brought down shy of the 20, so the decision to bring it out of the end zone, not a good one.
The Browns take over 1st and 10 at their own 18.
Getting set to go again here, Cam Newton marches back onto the field. And it was his interception on the last drive that wound up leading to a game-tying touchdown.
And somehow you can make this a positive, though. You know why? Game tied now, so you're not protecting a lead, so you're not playing that way. You got to go get the lead again, so maybe it loosens him up a little bit and allows him to go ahead and be a little more free in his play.
He'll rifle this one deep right side. And look at this. Cam Newton intercepted a third time. Desmond King picks it. And his guys have got it back at the closing stages of the first half. Oh, this is just crazy. He's got 3 interceptions, Charles, and we haven't even departed the first half of this ballgame.
I think if you're looking at the stats right now, you're saying, all right, who's the leading receiver? Well, can you flip it around and say that maybe he is and could be for the game the way that things are going right now? I think if it's him, he wants to be on the field at all times.
And he'll just push his way forward for a few as the clock will run. Now the Broncos will use their 3rd and final timeout as they'll stop it with 13 seconds to play in half number 1. The last run got a couple. Here's 2nd and 8. They'll keep it on the ground again here. And they get him down, but not before he takes it across the 40-yard line.
Josh Jacobs.
So we've hit halftime all even. There you have it. Halftime quickly over. 3rd quarter, here we go.
1st and 10 at the 35-yard line.
Expect to see a good number of backups going forward as we are back and underway here in preseason week 2. And he's up past the 20. To the 22-yard line.
The Browns take over 1st and 10 at their own 22-yard line.
Here's the Browns offense now getting set to start off this 3rd quarter. First half showed us some pretty good offense. Tie game, we'll see what the second half brings.
And it'll be interesting because I think both sides feel pretty good about what their offenses are doing. Got to wonder what adjustments are being made defensively to try and get a spark and maybe slow down the other side.
But here, do you change up anything on this opening drive?
Not offensively, you don't. You got everything going your way. You've probably prepared for maybe some change-ups you might expect, but overall, you like what your game plan's showing you.
Those are the type of runs that we did not see from him in the first half, but a good start to the 3rd quarter.
And I know what everyone's thinking that's watching this. They did a great job adjusting at the half. Oftentimes you don't make adjustments. You just dial into your game plan a little.
And he's got daylight. It's a foot race. And all the way in. Touchdown, Cleveland. Tyreek Hill, ready for the regular season with his 2nd touchdown of the game. And the Browns have moved out in front.
I know we often laugh, and sometimes we even exalt the guys who are great trash talkers and give us some really funny lines. But the bottom line is absolute production on the field. His second touchdown of the game, and they lead.
And now they'll be looking to their defense to preserve that lead. Tucker able to connect on the extra point, and the lead is now 21-14.
Justin Tucker set to kick off.
Tucker now to kick it away following the touchdown. This will make it into the end zone. And no effort to bring this one out. It's a touchback.
At their own 25-yard line.
So now a look at the Broncos as they head back out there for their first possession of the second half. And this game was all square at halftime, but now they find themselves down 7 following the opening drive touchdown here in the third quarter.
And they need to take a good, relaxing, deep breath, don't you think? Because right now they might start to feel like they've got to play catch-up here and start matching them point for point. But it's still too early to get there. They can still run their offense. Plenty of time to get back in this game.
And he gets this one just shy of the 40, down at the 39. Maybe a frustration penalty there because he's picked them apart.
They've tried their best to get to him and haven't done it successfully. A penalty as a result of that hit there.
On the delay, it's Howard. And he's taken down inside the 30. 18 big yards on that one, and a Denver first. What makes a draw play like that successful?
Well, we did see where he made the first wave miss, and that was a big part of it. But a lot of it is just being actors back there. Making the defense think it's going to be a pass.
And the pass complete to Anunwa. Oh, he sheds himself free. And he is into the end zone for a Denver touchdown. Quincy Anunwa, 28 yards. And the Broncos are an extra point away from tying the football game.
Everybody likes to see the long ball thrown, but when you throw it underneath and you see someone catch the ball, secure it, make their moves, and then turn it into bigger plays, that's a lot of fun to watch as well.
The point after is good, and we are tied at 21. That'll be taken about a yard deep. Now a crease here as he's past the 30. Cordero Patterson up to midfield. Cordero Patterson on the loose. He will take this all the way. It's been a back-and-forth game, a lot of points on the board, and that return right there kind of indicative of how this thing's gone.
Yeah, you've seen both teams go at it, and as you just pointed out, both of them have found the end zone. But just like in boxing, you know the blow that hurts the most? The one you didn't see coming, and that often is the case when it comes in special teams.
And it's good. That makes it a 28-21 game. He covered every yard of the field plus one in the end zone. A 101-yard return there. Electric. So now the other return teams out there as they'll try to duplicate what they just saw. And this carries into the end zone. And we will not see an attempt to match that return touchdown as this will be a touchback and bring it out to the 25. Denver's offense ready to go again. And for them, a touchdown their last go-around. Obviously, they'll be hoping to do that again.
And when you start plotting for this drive, when you start thinking to yourself, okay, what are we going to do? You don't go away from what you did before because that worked.
And he's taken down. This will be a Brown sack. Miles Jack in there to get him yet again. That is his third sack tonight. They can't figure him out. Pass protection has been a problem all night long as they come up facing second and a bundle. Running from the gun with Howard. It's a pickup of 8 yards to move them into a 3rd and 13 here.
He was taken down at the 22-yard line. That's a gain of 8. Brings up 3rd and 13.
Foles. He'll find Royce Freeman, the running back. And they're able to get this one across the 35. A big play there as they get the conversion on 3rd and 13.
That's a play that will likely be forgotten when you talk about big moments in this game. But plays like this are critical to keep drives going. And if points result, we'll call this play significant.
Now Foles. And his throw's going to be incomplete. He was looking for Jordan Howard that time, but it'll be second down.
From the snap, he certainly looked like he knew where he wanted to go with the ball, but surprise, that guy was covered. So that took his attention elsewhere to no avail.
Second and 10 now. Third quarter action in Denver. On the handoff, this is Howard. And he's going to be stopped up quickly here. Jordan just a yard up to the 39. He's brought down.
I know the scouting report on him is that he doesn't possess the eye discipline to be an elite linebacker. What that means is his ability to read, react, and make a play. But on that one, he looked like one of those guys.
And he will not be able to get away as Foles is taken down. Miles Jack make that now 4 sacks for him in tonight's ball game.
The amount of sacks that they've absorbed in this game is absolutely extraordinary. Let's just face it. This offensive line, flat out, cannot handle this pass rush. It's been demonstrated time and time again.
That'll be a 41-yard punt, just 1 yard on the return. And the offense will take over with a new set of downs. Ready to take over again on offense. Out comes Cleveland. And they were able to punch it in the end zone last time. They'll be looking to do that again here for the defense. Obviously, they'll be looking to stop them from punching it back in the end zone.
It always is punch-counter-punch, isn't it? And which team has the advantage? Well, let's just go back. Last time on offense, they rolled downfield, got into a good rhythm. You can see a little more bounce in and out of the huddle. You can see the sideline really get into the game. So defensively, you're thinking to yourself, how do we take that away from them? How do we get the advantage back? Let's see what they come up with. I think pressure is always the first way to go.
You love pressure.
I love it.
We'll see if they dial it up this drive. Now here's a whistle as flags come in. And we'll check out the call.
Offense.
So that'll back them up 5. And that false start penalty certainly not helping their cause here. Second down and long. Newton now to throw. And he finds a man with a crossing route. And past the 40 before he's out of bounds. 22 yards there, a first down.
First down.
Well, that certainly has to feel good. And it's not all the time that the play caller should get all the credit. Sometimes I think in the huddle, the quarterback just says, hey, who's going to make a play for me? I just need something right here. And the end result there, nice first down. Drive keeps moving.
Now throwing on first down and completing it. And he gets us to the other side of midfield across the 45 before going out. Back-to-back nice gains. That one for 14 yards and another first.
How about a guy proving his worth in different ways? Had the big play in the run game to play before. This time, they go right back to him in the passing game, and he comes through with yet another big play. That's why you work out so hard in the offseason, so you can stay on the field and accumulate big points.
And now look at this. Big gain, but a fumble. It's picked up by the Broncos. And they have the football and will take over at the 24-yard line.
No coach or team's ever happy when someone has a turnover, but if there's ever a good time to do it,
preseason.
Yeah, right now. You know that come regular season, he's going to be ready to go, and maybe he'll remember, yeah, I don't want to do this when it comes time for the games to count.
And now a throw on first down there, but it's incomplete.
A lot of times it's that first read that you have. Maybe you get it in pre-snap. He locked in on his target, but he was covered quite well, and that one's incomplete.
Well, thanks for joining us here on a Thursday night in the NFL. Third quarter, 2nd and 10 coming up. Here's Foles. And that is incomplete. Jennings was the one he was looking for. And that takes us from 2nd to 3rd down. So back-to-back incompletions, and that has them staring at a 3rd and 10. On play action, they'll throw. And the Browns' pressure gets to him that time, and he's going to go down.
And sure, you hate the end result being a sack, but my question is, why are you going play action on 3rd and long anyway? No defense is going to respect the run in that situation. They're headed straight for the quarterback.
44 on his first punt, and this is a good kick as well. They'll get 9 yards on the return there following a punt of 42. And possession will switch hands, 1st and 10.
48-yard line.
Heading out as the Cleveland offense now as they get set to take over here. And last drive, obviously not what you're looking for. You've got the lead. You got to protect the football.
So in other words, someone got lucky because they've been moving the ball really well and wearing them down. In this case, though, giving up the football doesn't make them very happy. They can't wait to get back out there and atone for it.
Yeah, trying to atone for it here on this drive.
Looks like they went for the combo play there. A nice ample gain on the ground on the previous play. Going for the big shot on that one unsuccessfully.
3rd quarter of a tight football game as we come up on a 2nd and 10. To throw again, Newton. Going right side here, and that's complete.
Come on, bring it, baby.
All the way in. Touchdown, Cleveland.
Number 2.
4 touchdown passes now for Cam Newton. And the Browns add 6 to their lead.
In order to lead in a game, you're going to get plenty of contributors, but that's his 2nd touchdown catch of this game. He's one of the key guys in this one.
And you better believe he'll be looking for the hat trick here as this one continues to go. Tucker with the extra point, and the lead now up to 14. Well, we looked at each other right away. We knew that flag was coming out.
And I always enjoy the conversation post because officials always tell you, I don't want to throw the flag, but you caused the play. You did it. I had to.
After the roughing penalty on the PAT, they'll kick off from 15 yards further upfield. Fielded a couple yards into the end zone. And he'll be brought down shy of the 20, so the decision to bring it out of the end zone, not a good one.
1st and 10 at their own 18-yard line.
So the Broncos coming out now. These guys had to punt their last possession, and that's become too familiar of a refrain. Too many of these drives just wound up going nowhere.
But you know how in baseball, when the pitcher gets a base hit and he's on base, they bring his jacket out to him to keep him warm? A lot of times the punter goes to the sideline, puts on sweatpants or a wrap over his leg to keep it warm. He might need a massage from the trainer right now from all the work he's getting. You've got to figure the further they fall behind, the more you think that they'll get away from the run. They're trying to stick with it, but the results, they just aren't there.
And he'll take this up only to about his 18-yard line. After getting stuffed on 1st down, not much better there. 2-yard gain.
Whenever we talk about the best strong safeties, one word constantly comes up, and that's instincts. Being able to diagnose run or pass and make the appropriate moves.
He crashed down hard there. He was ready for that running play. Off the play fake, he'll look to throw. That's caught by the Notre Dame man. It's Durham Smythe. 17 yards for the Broncos there as they've got themselves a 1st down. Ball up to the 35 now as they come up on 1st and 10. Welcome back now to Denver. It's the Broncos trailing, but they do have possession of the football as we begin quarter number 4. On 1st down, he'll drop to throw. And he's free going down the left side. It's a foot race. And he'll score. Touchdown, Browns. And that one will pretty much erase any hopes of a 4th quarter comeback.
With emphasis, interception, return for touchdown. Door closed, locked, reinforced.
Now Tucker to add the PAT. And the lead now to 3 touchdowns at 21 points. A heck of a play there defensively, getting the interception, navigating his way into the end zone for the touchdown.
Set to kick off.
So they throw the pick 6. They'll get another shot at it now as this one's in the air. That'll be taken about a yard deep. And makes it across the 20 as his guys will set up shop at the 23-yard line.
Take over 1st and 10. at their own 23-yard line.
The Broncos onto the field, ready to start their next drive. And that last pick six may have been the backbreaker as they now face a 3-score deficit in the fourth quarter. They need points quickly. Throwing on first down, but this one winds up to be incomplete. Well, the trials and tribulations of being a quarterback in this league, it's tough. It's got to be wearing on him out there.
Well, he has been sacked a number of times. He had an interception, so I'm going to give him a skosh of credit for hanging in there and trying to make something happen, despite the amount of pressure he's been under this entire game.
And that's going to be too high, out of bounds and incomplete. Quincy Newton with the intended receiver, and it'll bring up third down. Now they face a 3rd and 10 after back-to-back incompletions. Out of the gun, they'll look to throw. Oh, the ball comes out on the hit, but they'll say it's incomplete.
Incomplete.
How about some applause for the defense there? They forced him to throw that one into coverage, and just like that, they're staring at a 4th down. Well done.
All right, they're going to try and keep hope alive here on 4th down. They're going for it. Got to try it here. He's back to throw. And it is incomplete. The Broncos unable to convert here on 4th. And the Browns are going to get this thing back. Excellent field position. Well, at this stage of the game in the second half, down 3 scores, I guess they felt like they needed to push.
And let's face it, with this deficit, if they give up another score here after they didn't get it, does it really matter?
Right.
It really doesn't. They had to go and try and make something happen if they had any chance of winning this game.
Wide out. Incomplete.
Well, once again, they'll go from the 23-yard line on 2nd and 10. Throwing again. Newton. His throw caught at the 5. And he is into the end zone. Touchdown, Cleveland. Cam Newton with his 5th touchdown pass of the game. And the Browns are going to tack on to their advantage. They were still throwing with a comfortable lead here late, and now that lead even more comfortable.
And your first thought is there bad blood that went into this one ahead of time, that maybe they're seeking some revenge or they just don't like them? But the other thing that always hits me is, are they worried about playoff positioning, right? Are they worried about, do you need enough points in case there's a tiebreaker that comes into play later?
Justin Tucker set to kick off.
After the roughing penalty on the PAT, they'll kick off from 15 yards further upfield. Fielded just outside the goal line. And a nice job there on special teams to limit him to inside the 15 as he's dropped at the 14.
In this position, trying to get back into the game, teams are looking for a spark from their special teams. That's not what they got, though. They got a setback, and they have a long field to cover if they want to try and put points on the board.
Here's a 1st and 10 at the 14-yard line. They'll come out throwing here to start the drive. And he comes back with one complete. And he's going to get a solid gain of 9 before being brought down. 2nd and right at a yard.
Brings up 2nd and
that last catch short of the marker by just a yard leaves him with a very manageable 2nd and 1. And he'll be hit as he releases it, and that'll fall incomplete. They tried to throw on 2nd down, unsuccessful. Now it's 3rd and 1. He'll drop to throw. And he's caught by Herndon. And he picks up the 1st before he's taken down at the 29.
Defense.
Now they stopped him shy of the marker, thought they were bringing up 4th down, and then that penalty.
Let's face it, they thought they had bent, but could absorb that, right? Instead, they broke as a result of their own penalty.
Now on 1st down, he'll drop to throw it. Looking right sideline, but it's incomplete.
thrown away, and
another pass attempt, another incompletion, and they're just a little over 100 yards passing here in this game, so defensively, pretty good job.
Definitely, because they were never really able to get the ball in the hands of their playmakers, so a lot of credit to the defensive game plan, and especially the execution.
And he's taken down. This will be a Brown sack.
Nick Foles sacked.
That right now That's a defeated team out there. I think you can see it totally in their body language.
Hands on hips, heads low. It's just been a struggle from the start.
Yeah, this team has been thoroughly beaten right from the word go.
Out of the gun now on third down. Oh, the pressure too great, and he goes down once more. It's the former Michigan man, Chase Winovich, who gets in there to bring him down.
Well, this is what happens when you get behind the chains, as people like to say. When you have obvious passing situations, hard to vary it up and fool a defense.
And you hate those situations if you're an O-lineman, right?
Oh, without a doubt, because you just know they're coming, and you never know exactly how. They can be exotic in their blitzes, or their athletic ability just takes over.
And they're indeed going to go for it here on fourth down. So trailing here in the last quarter. Let's see how this plays out. Into double coverage, and it's intercepted. Marcus May with a pick. And they get the football. They'll set up shop at their own 49-yard line.
49-yard line.
Another solid game-changing play for this defense for the interception. At this point, though, I don't know that it's game-changing. I mean, they've got this one in firm control.
And you always hear about, you know, those stories about someone left their game plan behind and maybe you benefit from it. I'm not going to say that that happened.
Got a man. It's caught inside the 10. And he'll take it into the end zone for a Browns touchdown. Tyreek Hill, 51 yards. And this offense is running away with this one.
Well, this is exactly where I expect teams to take a shot. Right after a turnover, you count on the defense being a little bit jumbled coming out on the field, maybe catch them back on their heels, and that's exactly what they did there. They threw it downfield and really created a big play.
Yeah, you said jumbled. They were the definition of jumbled defensively. One play and into the end zone.
Don't walk out here, man.
They're down here in the fourth, and that personal foul penalty is not going to help.
No, in these types of situations, players will tell you that's extra intensity. From where we sit, it's actually frustration. Not a good play.
After the roughing penalty on the PAT, they'll kick off from 15 yards further upfield. And tackled at the 21-yard line, so a net negative there of 4 yards.
First and 10. At their own 21-yard line.
Now the Broncos offense, they get set to head back onto the field. And following the interception, just any interception, are you a little bit more cautious when you start that next drive, or no, you just throw that out the window?
I think you are. I don't think that there's any way you can run back out there and go, totally didn't affect me. Let's just go ahead and be loose with the football again. You're going to take care of it, but you have to be careful about being too cautious because now you can't run any offense at all.
Still want to attack. We'll see how they attack him here. And he was hit as he threw it there, and it forces it incomplete.
21-yard line.
Check. Watch 54. Watch 54. You get blocked.
To throw once more on 2nd and 10. Foles. They get 7 out of that, so they're left with a 3rd and 3. A second down completion got him 7. Now here's 3rd and 3.
3rd and 3.
Now a shotgun snap as they'll look to throw. And he gets it to the 34. Good enough for the first. They get 5 out of that one, and it moves the chains.
1st and 10.
From the 34 now, here's 1st and 10. They'll stick with the passing game as he looks to throw. And the Browns' pressure gets to him that time, and he's going to go down. Miles Jack, my goodness, make that now 5 sacks for him in this ball game. Really turning in an incredible performance. To try again after the sack. Foles. And this one incomplete. Too much contact to hold on to that one, and it's 3rd down. An incomplete pass on that last play, and that means they'll need to come up with something here on 3rd down.
Just like that. Mike 5-4. I got one.
From the shotgun, he'll look to throw. Now a hit, and Foles loses the football. It's out, and he's into the end zone. It's a fumble return for a Browns TD. So the big fella gets on the scoreboard with a return for a touchdown. Good thing he didn't have to go too far, though.
You know the trainers were very happy about that. Imagine having to go get him in the end zone, escort him to the bench, and give him the oxygen. They were loving the fact that he got in without having to run very far.
The PAT would extend their lead, but there is a flag on the play.
Defense.
Are you serious?
So they will accept the penalty and move forward.
Justin Tucker set to kick off.
So here's the kickoff now as they'll get it again following that fumble return for a score. Fielded just outside the goal line. And no chance to get away as they'll get him down at about the 17-yard line.
At their own 17-yard line.
Now this Broncos offensive unit ready to head back out onto the field. And they weren't on the sidelines for long, but I'll tell you what, I'm glad you and I weren't down there. We could hear them, the coaches from all the way up here. They were adamant, you've got to hold on to the football or else we have no hope.
Yeah, it's easy for me to laugh sitting up here, but you're exactly right. We were down there.
And he goes down. It's a sack. They get him back at his own 3-yard line.
So if we recount real quick, he had the touchdown earlier, and now he comes up with the sack here. No doubt about it, he's having himself a game.
Pass protection has been a problem all night long as they come up facing second and a bundle. A give to Howard, and he will double the space they have to work with as they take it from the 2 to the 4.
Ball carrier.
Just 2 minutes remaining here in the fourth quarter of what has been a one-sided affair. Facing the prospect of a punt from their own end zone, they need some cushion. Let's see what they can do on third down. So it's Bronco football as we get you reset here. And let's see what they've come up with offensively after having time to talk it over. Now on third and long, they'll look to throw. And he took the contact as he was throwing it, and the ball drops incomplete.
Jennings.
That incompletion is not a surprise with the way that this one has gone, and the frustration of body language is evident everywhere. This team, they've really been put through the ringer in this one.
The Broncos send out their punter now. As the drive goes backwards, had to get it out quick, and he will get into the end zone. It's another touchdown. This thing is ugly.
But they didn't have their normal cushion there in order to punt the ball away. It leads to a lot of anxiety for the team kicking the football.
Well, for the punter, you know that you've got to get rid of that quickly there. Not quick enough.
And also, not stepping behind you and stepping over the end line for a safety. That one gets blocked, and it's 6 points.
Tucker now for the extra point.
For the extra point.
Now, this one was over a while ago as they just add on to their big lead. Well, not only did they block it, the awareness to go and grab it and then take it into the end zone for 6 points.
Set to kick off.
Tucker now to kick it away following the touchdown. Now this will make it into the end zone. And this will not be returned. It'll come out to the 25.
Their own 25-yard line.
The Bronco offense now set to come back out onto the field. They are just obviously getting shellacked here in this one, Charles. What's the message if you're a coach for this final drive in a lopsided game like this?
For a lot of coaches,
be honest.
Don't forget today. Don't forget what has happened out here.
Yeah, use that as ammo going forward.
Exactly. Take a great look at that scoreboard. Realize how poorly everything went for us today. Coaching, playing, the whole deal. And never forget it, because
you're not going to want that feeling again.
No, you don't want that feeling again. And who knows? You may meet up with this team again.
An incomplete pass leads to 2nd and 10 from the 25.
Watch the slant. Watch the slant.
And his throw is incomplete. It was Trey Flowers that time who got a hand in and broke it up. So back-to-back incompletions, and that has him staring at a 3rd and 10.
Here we go again. Here we go again.
Now they'll throw here out of the gun. And the throw there going to be incomplete.
Has to be a little bit of frustration there. Back-to-back incompletions. Receivers blanketed on both attempts, this time on 3rd down.
So they're forced to punt on 4th as this one's away. It's a 43-yard punt, aided as well by a loss on the return. And out will come the offense as they take over.
24-yard.
Tyreek Hill making his way back out towards the huddle. Seems like the measuring stick for a receiver for a great game is 100 yards. Well, he's well past that now.
And as we analyze how he's getting them, that's where it really becomes fun because, let's face it, they keep sending coverage at him, keep trying to put the pressure on, yet he finds ways downfield and finds openings. That's a really crafty receiver.
And that will be incomplete. Would have been a big hitter if they had connected. Instead, it's second down.
When you look at the scoreboard, you'd think they'd be pretty comfortable right now with this lead, but these guys are absolutely not going to let up. They want to increase their lead, and they want to do it with a big play. Unable to connect in that attempt.
Throwing again here on second down, this time complete. And past the 40 before he's out of bounds. 19 yards there on the catch and run.
A gain of 19 yards.
And on that last play there, he's over 400 yards passing now.
You know what that generally means?
Success.
That, and it means you really didn't miss opportunities.
Oh, wide open, complete. And they are going to score again. Yet another touchdown as they just add to their totals.
Well, there's just about a minute left in this game, and they're still taking it into the end zone. And you know they could have taken a knee there, but they decided to play this one all the way out. And I think their philosophy is, we're going to give you everything we've got. If we just go ahead and take a knee now, we're actually showing you disrespect that way, like taking pity on you. They're not about to do that to their opponent.
Tucker able to connect on the extra point, and that will extend this big lead. So that one will be accepted.
Justin Tucker set to kick off.
After the roughing penalty on the PAT, they'll kick off from 15 yards further upfield. This will be fielded inside the 5. And they'll be backed up to start this drive as he's taken down right around the 15.
In this position, trying to get back into the game, teams are looking for a spark from their special teams. That's not what they got, though. They got a setback, and they have a long field to cover if they want to try and put points on the board.
They'll come out throwing here on first down. And incomplete as he was knocked as he threw it. And it took the ball off course. An incomplete pass on first down. That leads to a 2nd and 10.
They're going to need some therapy after this. Hey, watch that. Check, Mike.
Ball hit as he throws there, incomplete.
You could tell they wanted to get that ball downfield. They had nothing working in the secondary, so he dropped it off to the running back. That one ended up incomplete.
Now a shot taken on third down, but it's going to wind up incomplete.
This defense was definitely alert to the possibility of the deep ball, and they were more than ready for it.
They've got the lead, fourth quarter. Maybe can expect more passes like that downfield. Fielded at the 43. It's a 39-yard punt, 3 on the return.
The Browns take over 1st and 10.
Tyreek Hill making his way back out towards the huddle. And now he's inching closer to a 200-yard game. He's been so solid.
And he's really denting the pride of the guys playing defense, too, because there's certain barriers that you just don't want to give up. You never want to give up a 100-yard rusher, a 100-yard receiver. He's closing in on 200 yards. Wow, that's a really big game.
And he'll be out just a yard or two shy of the 30. Good work after the catch. Going to net him 23 and a first.
First down
from the 32 now. Here's 1st and 10.
You must be getting tired of seeing me. Switch.
Newton's going to throw it. He's going to let this go. Back of the end zone. And that is incomplete. He was looking for Tyreek Hill that time, but it's going to be 2nd down.
After what they faced during this game where they've given up a ton of yards downfield, there has to be a measure of revenge right there for the secondary. They've been shredded throughout the game and finally forced an incompletion.
On 2nd and 10, Newton. Looking for Hill again. This time it's complete. And he is out of bounds, but first he gets it inside the 10 to the 7. 25 yards that time. Well, they probably don't need to run a play here, but you wonder if they're going to be able to resist on 1st and goal.
53, Mike, pick me up. Here we go.
Here's Mostert.
I'm going to show you, man.
And he will get into the end zone. It's another touchdown. This thing is ugly.
Well, partner, when a team's up this big, this late in the game, I always wonder what's their motivation, because if it's me, I'm thinking about pulling on the reins a little bit. But for them, I don't think it's in their DNA. It's not in their head coach's makeup at all. I think his opinion is, you stop us, we're not supposed to pull back ourselves.
Tucker with the extra point, and the lead will swell by one more.
Justin Tucker set to kick off.
Tucker now to kick it away following the touchdown. Danny Johnson returning. And a nice return sets him up pretty good here right at the 30-yard line.
The Broncos take over 1st and 10 at their own 30-yard line.
And Denver getting set to take the field. Let's just be frank. They're playing for pride at this point.
That's all that's left, because victory, not a chance now. And I can't wait to see how they actually go about doing it, because there are a lot of...
And he's taken down. This will be a Brown sack. Miles Jack in there for the 7th time in this game alone, and that ties him with the late Derek Thomas for the most sacks ever in a single game. Pass protection has been a problem all night long as they come up facing 2nd and a bundle. Here's a play fake as they set up to throw. And he's going to go down again.
Full sack. A loss of 10 yards on the play. It's now 3rd down.
Check, watch 54, watch 54. Big stop, G. Big stop, let's go.
Foles. And it's incomplete. Both players had a shot at that one. Neither can get it, and it brings up 4th down.
Trevor Daniel.
The Broncos send out their punter now. Remember, though, he did have one blocked earlier. They'll send this away into the Rocky Mountain night, and it's a good one.
Tonight's final score, Browns.
Well, Charles, it's one thing to win. It's another thing to win and put up the amount of points that they did. Boy, were they clicking on offense.
They can't help but feel great about themselves, can they? I mean, what a game to put up that number of points, continually feeling like they're moving the ball and things are